Hello everyone, this is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember, subscribe to this channel. We're over 1,400 subscribers. Check out the notes section below for important links that complement this video. I wanted to thank the reoccurring Bitcoin guy for sending me some Bitcoin the other day. I forgot to mention him yesterday. I was in such a rush. And I want to thank the Ethereum Classic people who have been sending me Ethereum Classic. I know someone mentioned in the comments section, thank you for that Ethereum Classic. I think someone else sent it to me relatively recently and I didn't mention it. I'm sorry. I do notice every contribution that I get and I thank you very much for every little bit of it. If you want to give me $1 worth of Bitcoin spread over 3 years, then that's cool. I think it's just, I love getting little small amounts too. It shows the awesomeness of Bitcoin, and it also shows, hey, you give usage to some of these altcoins that I say that they're not being used. Well, some are being used as donations to video guys like me. So thanks a lot, and thank you to everyone who retweets these videos. We've been getting a lot of retweets lately. You know, something cool you can do when you retweet, do the pound Bitcoin, because then more people will see it, or pound altcoin, or pound Monero, whatever the video might be about. It's always good to use that pound symbol, I've seen at least. And so, speaking of altcoins, we're going to talk about some altcoins today because there have been some altcoins in the news. And speaking of people who watch my videos and retweet, last night, very late at night, there were 2 people posted great comments in the comments section. And I had noticed these things already, but no, I hadn't noticed the Ripple thing. So the first guy mentions Ripple. The other person mentioned Potcoin. So let's talk about Ripple. Late last night, and my commenters are awesome commenters. You guys are great. I love replying to you, and you come up with some good ideas that I talk about. So thank you very much. Well, with the Ripple, late last night, someone says on the comment section, you can check it out, that Ripple is all of a sudden like 300% up. And it was like, I checked it out, and I replied like, well, let's see what's going on in 12 hours. Because this sounded crazy. And it was up on coinmarketcap.com, which is usually a great site. It turns out, 12 hours passed. I guess it was 3 p.m. today, after being 3 a.m. last night. And it was pretty obvious by then. An article had come out, and I will link to this article, that was talking about the rise, that said it might be a glitch on coinmarketcap.com's site, and it is a glitch. And another commenter actually said right away it's a glitch. By the way, I'll give him credit. And yeah, it's a glitch. And as I said, I like coinmarketcap.com, but it is a reminder that you can't. If something is really out of the ordinary, you have to question it, and that we're still in the very early stages of cryptocurrency where things like this can happen, where there can be mistakes on usual sites that are reliable. What this might have done, though, is some people probably, who knows, if they might have sold their Ripple on this, or maybe some people bought it. It is up a little now, I noticed. Who knows what the effects were? They were short term, no doubt, but this was a confusing thing to everyone. And so, again, it's a reminder we're in the early stages. It is interesting not to get too excited when you see something like, as I had never seen something like that, where it's like all of a sudden normal and then, whoo, it's up 300%. That made no sense. Even though some people did mention some good news for Ripple lately. Anyway, Potcoin. So Potcoin was also brought up in the comments section. And Potcoin is up a lot lately. And that was kind of gradual. It was like 100%, then 200%, then 300%. It wasn't just like snap your fingers, and it's been up. And so there's an article about it that I linked to. The article is at newsbtc.com. And I don't know how much of it is based on maybe a press release that the guys at Potcoin came up with. It seems like almost propaganda that marketing that the Potcoin people would send out. Apparently Potcoin, if you remember back in the day, a year ago, 2 years ago, it went up when a lot of alts were going up, when people were jumping into all sorts of gimmicky alts. Well, now and then it went down. way down. And now it's like up to its all-time highs again, which is strange. Well, apparently some new people took it over. So I would kind of like call it like a recycled altcoin. And I'm wondering, is this a trend that's going to work? And I think maybe some other altcoins have been taken over by other people too. But this one's making the news now because obviously it's gone up a lot. I wonder if a lot of people are going to get into like, oh, this altcoin went down the drain, but now new people are taking charge of it. So it's awesome again. So if we're going to see this recycled altcoin trend where altcoins that reached all-time highs 2 years ago and then went down the tubes will just repeat the same trend again. With Potcoin, I don't see what's the big deal. Bitcoin can do what it can do, I believe. And I mean, I don't want to. And by the way, I was sent Potcoin by a Potcoin faucet a while ago. This is like a year and a half ago. I don't know. And I foolishly left it on Cryptsy, and of course it was stolen when Cryptsy. And there's a lesson for you there. And we've discussed those foolish things that Adam Meister has done, leaving some stuff on Cryptsy there. You shouldn't leave your stuff on exchanges. But anyway, don't play with faucets too much either. You probably can get viruses. But anyway, I did have Potcoin at one time. Another thing that I'm wondering here, obviously speculators are fueling this. I'm beginning to think again, are we I predicted a while ago we're going to be in like a new altcoin renaissance, quote unquote renaissance, where young people, risk takers, just start throwing money into altcoin, just gambling, a gambling explosion that's it's gonna benefit some people, but there are going to be some greater fools that are going to lose a lot in the long run. But who knows if this is the beginning of a huge run-up on altcoins, which, again, is risky to do. And again, I've said in other videos that maybe this is the beginning of maybe all these times I'm saying maybe this is the beginning of a run-up on altcoins. Yeah, maybe it has started because there hasn't been a big crash lately at all. And again, I predicted this, I think, at the beginning of the year that, no matter what, even if we have a rough altcoin year, we're going to have a renaissance in altcoins, because it's just that it's a matter of demographics. The more young people that get into Bitcoin, the more they won't be patient, and they're going to jump into altcoins and just pump up every altcoin. So let's see. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. Today is actually Canadian Thanksgiving Day. Is today Columbus Day also here in the United States? I get all so confused. Tomorrow, Yom Kippur starts tomorrow night. I'm going to get it in a video before Yom Kippur and after Yom Kippur. Don't worry. Speaking of Canada, though, one thing that I really dislike about the border between the United States and Canada, I'm fine. Let them be separate countries, but the border should be wide open. We have very strict controls in the United States of people flying in, and so does Canada. But yet I cannot bring an apple from Washington State into British Columbia. The apple, they're the same apples, okay, in Canada and the United States, okay? But because of statism, because of bureaucracy, because of insanity, I could get in trouble for bringing in an apple, a little apple, from Washington State into Vancouver on the Bolt bus or whatever. And then we still have people here on that comment that say, oh, it's great that XYZ coin, whatever, name your coin, that the government, the United States government is interested in using it. Or what's that horrible group that controls the airports and everything? Oh God, I'm drawing a blank. But that one bureaucratic group. It's good that they are the ones that are using this coin. How can it be a positive when they're so backward with bringing apples across the border? And same goes with Canada. I wouldn't be happy if the Mounties adopted a coin. If they said, oh, we're going to adopt XYZ coin, I would think that's a negative. And so if people, maybe you can, through my Apple example there, maybe a few of you can understand why I don't consider it a positive when a government entity takes interest in an altcoin. I don't think that is a good thing. Homeland Security was the horrible department that I was trying to think of beforehand. Oh, look at my hair sticking up crazily in the back there. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister. Talk to you later.